Hello and welcome to episode 21 of Wizard Weekly, where we bring you news and humor from around the spiral. KingsIsle has finally made it easier to find your friends with an improvement to the True Friends code system so that all wizards can now use it. New wizards who create an account after this change will notice that the feature is already active on the account. Wizards that had already created an account before the change may have to wait a short while to see it applied. Just like the old True Friends system, parents can turn this off and on via the parental controls if they'd like. The House-a-Palooza has come and gone, but a nifty bit of furniture is stuck with the spiral. Teleporters! These neat gizmos will allow you to teleport around one house, or from one house to another. Oops. They're available in many colors from the Crown Shop for 2,500 crowns apiece, or 9,995 for all 6. Or you could just get them as a rare reward from the Wyvern's Hoard Pack, though if you've got my luck, it'd be cheaper just to buy them. If you haven't entered into one of Wizard Central's Birthday Bonanza contests, you've got one more week to do so. The Wizard 101 Central 3rd birthday party will be coming to a close next week. With hundreds of thousands of crowns and several dozen items given away as prizes, this may well be the biggest party Wizards have ever seen. The last 2 Find Me events with Olivia and Jester, to be held Monday and Wednesday, include Danger Hound pets as prizes, so make sure your insightful spy glasses are good and polished for your chance to win one. Happy birthday, Wizard Central! I hope you had as good a time as we did. Not much news in the Power Pip this week, but the Wizard Central Topsy-Turvy tourney is in full swing, with some teams getting ready to break out of the qualifiers and head for the semifinals. The Stray Piggle Sprint is dashing forwards as well, with several players headed for the semis already. This week in Better Homes and Gardens, we visit the home of Gabrielle Stormcaster, who has opened her secluded Dragon's Fjord home to us. If you've ever heard thunder rolling through the mountains on a clear day, it's probably Gabrielle and her students practicing their storm magic on her sprawling lawn. When her students aren't practicing up a storm, get it? Practicing storm? No? Her lawn also serves as a silverback wildclaw reserve, with lots of these little critters rescued from the clutches of the evil coven. Gabriel is also big into recycling, and any trees that should be struck by a poorly aimed storm spell have been quickly felled and turned into firewood, or any assortment of craft project. Hidden under her lawn is the Storm Sanctum, where in times of strife you can retreat to power up. Since it's peace times, her guardians have been deactivated so I could get a sneak peek. Guarding her door is a protective kraken statue to scare off trolls, imps, and the occasional gremlin. Just inside is a small indoor park for those of her friends and students that can't take the cold. There's also hopscotch mats she's placed down as a clever way of keeping her pets in shape. After a hard workout, her pets, friends, and students can retreat to her kitchen, which is always ready to serve with soup in the kettle and a hearty meal placed out for anyone who's hungry. If the weather's too bad, stranded students and guests can spend the night in her Mushu-themed guest bedroom in a bed she made herself. The bedroom has been decorated to promote inner peace and tranquility, the best ingredients for a good night's sleep. There's a small tea table for conversation, or for those who just can't wake up in the morning. Enter her bedroom and you can see that, despite the tough act, deep down inside Gabrielle is a total girly girl. Her room is a pink paradise with a small shrine to the artist Selena Gomez in one corner, and her dog and cat romping around having a good time. A shrine is perched above her kitchen with a candle for every time she's been defeated by a boss. A shrine, she said, was virtually empty before she ventured into Celestia. Keep going across the plank bridge and you enter a sitting room where you can relax and where Gabrielle entertains her guests. It comes complete with a crystal ball where she can divine which boss to farm a particular drop for, or just catch up with the news on Central. Sometimes her students like to relax there after a hard lesson in her storm classroom, where she teaches the locals about divination and divine fashion secrets. They practice their storm moves inside specially made crystal balls to prevent any stray bolts before stepping outside to release their inner thunder. Gabriel can watch from the safety of her simple balcony overlooking her yard and training grounds. After a long day of teaching and crafting, Gabriel likes to retreat to her secret relaxation nook. Hidden away behind a roaring waterfall and through an icy tunnel is a small area where she and her pet kraken can get away from it all. There's even a magic kettle that will serve you whatever you have a craving for at the moment, from coffee and tea to steaming hot apple cider and hot cocoa with mini marshmallows. Even if the climate is freezing cold, Gabriel has made her home warm and inviting, using small touches such as sounds of crackling fires and flowing water to enhance every room. Because there seems to be a little confusion about how teleporters work, we're going to give you a basic review of them. It's really quite simple. Click the teleporter in your inventory and you'll see a small circle with an arrow on the ground. Place this with the arrow facing the direction you want to be facing when you arrive, and then switch houses. Click the teleporter in your inventory again and you'll see a small green arrow, meaning you've already placed the first half of the teleportation spell. Place the teleporter and presto, you're done. There are plenty of uses for these other than just getting around. You can make a perpetual porting machine just for fun, or use them to block off areas of your house that you don't want people in. We jerry-rigged our teleporters at Wizard Weekly HQ to deliver our mail to us. Not recommended, by the way. And what letters didn't explode on their way through we will now present to you in Letters from the Spiral. Our first message comes in from Balance Master 75, who asks, do you think King's Eye will release any updates for Legendary Wizards? I'm not going to say of course they will, but I'm almost certain that we'll see some new Ultra Grandmaster Oh My God worlds in the future. The thing with new worlds where you're supposed to level is that they're a lot harder to make than worlds like Grizzleheim, Wintertusk, or Pigswick. You have to make sure there's enough quests for people to reach their level goal, make new gear for those worlds that's balanced yet powerful, and then toss in just enough bosses to evenly distribute the loot we're going to get, and finally, it has to follow the storyline we're following at the time. A lot more goes into the creation of these worlds than just slapping it together in a 3D program and tossing some NPCs in there, and in order for them to get these new worlds right, they're going to want to take their time with it to test and tweak things so that we, the players, when we finally get this product, we aren't stuck with something all buggy and unenjoyable. They've been throwing some consolation prizes out there for level 60 wizards in the form of waterworks and the new aptly named Hellfint's Tower when they release lower level worlds to entertain us, and not too long ago we got the side quest world of Wintertusk to keep us busy, so it's not like King's Isle's just resting on their laurels between worldly releases. I don't believe it's too far-fetched to see one of the new worlds mentioned in the Wisteria release, like Mirage or Wormwood, incorporated in the Morgan's questline, but which one they choose to release first, if they release them at all, is a tough call. They've already made a desert world, but they've created more NPCs for Mirage, so who knows? Our next question comes in from Blaine's Spirit Sword, who wonders, do you think King's Eye will ever sell the house elixir in the Crown Shop? While I'd love to be able to buy the housing elixir in the Crown Shop, I don't think it'll ever happen. It may seem kind of trivial. I mean, you swig a potion and suddenly you can buy a new house, but it goes a little deeper than that. Within each house is the ability to store hundreds of items, and every time you place or store an item within a house, it's actually stored on the Wizard 101 housing servers. In order to keep these particular servers from straining themselves and causing lag, they put a limit on how many houses a wizard can have. With the creation of the mega bundles, wizards who already had 3 homes were kind of in a fickle pickle because they couldn't get the fantasy palace. So King Zhao decided to toss a new bonus house elixir in there, so the more veteran and house crazed among us could enjoy the mega pack too. Same goes with the Sultan's palace. Wizards who already had 3 houses otherwise wouldn't really have a reason to purchase the mega bundle. Say it was implemented though, and we could buy it in the crown shop. It would have to be crowns only, and it would be mega expensive just to keep people from buying it and buying a ton of houses and melting that poor server set. There's really no point in marketing something only a handful of people will be able to afford, so it'd be kinda silly to see it in the crown shop. So sadly, I don't think we'll ever see the housing elixir on the open market. We'll just have to wait for the next mega bundle, or perhaps get rid of a lesser cherished home. On the topic of crowns, quite a few wizards have written in to ask, should we be able to earn crowns in Wizard 101? No. It has been mentioned before that crowns are unfair because some people can't buy them, and to an extent this is true, but it doesn't merit being able to earn them in-game. Having crowns as a quest reward, or as something earnable in-game, would devalue the worth of crowns on the overall, and it would slowly sink the metaphorical ship that is Wizard 101. Allow me to explain. Say they make 5-ish quests that you can complete for crowns. Together these quests give you about 500 crowns, and that doesn't sound like much, but it's enough to get something small like a dragon's hoard or a wyvern's hoard, or maybe even a furniture item. If the crowns were to total more than that, you really wouldn't need to buy them, and you'd be taking away a rather large chunk of King Zhao's outcome. That 500 crowns can also be earned by all your wizards, and since it's account-wide, you would be able to make something to the effect of 3,000 crowns right there just by leveling, which is, it's roughly $6, no big deal. Now let's say you were able to earn that 500 crowns in the game on every one of your wizards, and that's, $1 in real life per wizard, and then consider the 20 million wizards out there, and suddenly King's Isle is down $20 million. And that is a huge chunk of change, even for a corporation, so not only would it ruin the in-game economy, it would also impact King's Isle financially in the real world. That's all for this week's Wizard Weekly, folks. Thank you for tuning in once again. Just as a quick reminder that this month's Better Homes and Gardens thread will be closing tonight at midnight Eastern Time, so get your entries in for this month if you haven't already. As always, we hope you enjoyed this program and wish you a happy weekend, everyone! News in the Power Pip this week, but the Wizard Central topsy-turvy tourney. But Wizard Central's topsy-turvy